Hi, I'm Stephanie,
And I'm Katie.
and this is the Reading Nook Magic Podcast.
Today we have a very, very, very special guest to my heart, my lifelong friend, Allora Campbell, um, self published.
Small
Well,
press published.
brand spanking new author who has always been a very creative, imaginative child turned author. And I'm just like so excited to be able to like revisit this as adults. And I just remember, well, we're going to get into all of it. But anyway, just like so happy to have you here. And yeah, ready to have this conversation. So, Steph, you
So
can please
excited to be
tell
here.
Lori.
Thanks for having me, ladies.
You can ask
I
your
missed
question.
it. I don't know
Now
who's
you
supposed to
go.
go.
We're supposed to ask questions. So just yeah. Um. Yeah. Now it's awkward because I was like, now I know nothing.
Now it's amazing. It's organic. It's in the wild.
Oh, that's definitely what this is.
hmm
Okay, so I guess tell us about your journey as an author. What does that look like?
So, I always say I wish I had like a more chill hobby. Like, I think anybody who enjoys a creative pursuit, it's like a labor of love because I've been writing stories since I was 10, 11. I started off with fan fiction. I did not know that was the name for it. I thought it was illegal. Like I was stealing creative work, so I would like hide notebooks in trees. Like big into Lord of the Rings. Fast forward a million years, went to school for creative writing, loved it. Pivoted hard into like marketing as an adult, but never stopped writing. I was always doing short fiction, was published a few times in literary journals, have written so many stories. And I definitely always wrote like fantasy type of stories. So it was funny when Katie reached out to me. She was like, "Man, I always thought you were going to publish something fantasy." I was like, "Girl, me too." Like,
Yeah.
I ended up my first book is a memoir, which was totally by accident. Uh, like, but like my memoir talks about coming to dating in my 30s, which was also totally an accident. So probably it was fated in a way. Like it landed in my lap, and you just chase the story, you know, like.
So, for our listeners and anyone that doesn't know about your book, and I don't know how much you want to share about like your life and all of it, but kind of, give staff and our listeners some context as to what do you mean by coming into dating? I know, but what do you mean by that?
So I say now that I'm an accidental late bloomer spokesperson. And I say that because it's related to my book, Who Is She? A Late Bloomer Survival Guide. But it's because there wasn't really a reason I didn't date as like a young adult in my 20s. And it just didn't like happen organically. Nobody asked me out. I was under the impression, like as a woman, unfortunately attracted to men, that you were pursued. And when that didn't happen,
Unfortunately,
I was like,
attractive.
okay, something must be wrong with me.
Oh,
And you just
we're all
internalize it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you just internalize it. So finally, in my 30s, I'm like, you know what? The worst part about this is the not dating part is how embarrassed I am about it. So I'm gonna just make a video. I'm gonna post it to TikTok because nobody followed me on TikTok. This was 3 years ago. And I just wanted to get used to saying it out loud because that was half the battle. Like I couldn't even speak about it without crying. Like it was like this huge, I call it like a reverse scarlet letter. Like my lack of experience was my shame. And that video confession ended up going viral. And as I started just like finding all these people who also had no idea that being a late bloomer romantically was a super common experience, we just all thought we were like gargoyles in the wild. And those stories started to pick up steam. They were like picked up internationally. And at the same time, I was going on dates for the first time. And I would just, while keeping my dates anonymous, tell stories about them on TikTok. Like I would recap them.
That's so cool.
And like my memoir came about because at the end of my first year in love with my ex now, it was like, man, that was a whole like
Thanks.
first date, first kiss, first time, all of it was wrapped up in first breakup, like
Yeah.
was
All on
wrapped
TikTok, like
all, and
out
I
there.
was sharing like what I felt comfy sharing, and then I was like, you know, all along the way, people knew I wrote and enjoyed my dating recaps, and they're like, "Man, this would be a book." And I'm like, "Well, how do you write a book when you're like living it? Like it doesn't have an end. There's not
Right.
there's not an arc." And then I started writing my memoir post breakup, which was probably not the greatest life decision, but it was cathartic in the end. Like
I think it's a great decision.
you
That's
were
where all your
reflecting,
passion
right?
is. Yeah.
Kind of saying goodbye to that period of your life and acknowledging all that I learned. But I really wanted to write this book in particular to let people know, like, you can come to a new experience, even love, sex, dating at a later time in life. There's not like, there shouldn't be rules. Shouldn't be time limit on that. But I call it a late bloomer survival guide, not because it's the definitive guide, but because it's all the things that I did to survive a very chaotic, like, year of all those romantic firsts, all that, like, suddenly being in the spotlight and an unofficial late bloomer spokesperson. So it really talks about all of those things in one little handy, probably too honest book, but here we are.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet, but I will, obviously, and I'm excited to. And I can relate to how I felt, because I felt like a late bloomer in high school, which is not. But I mean, compared to my peers, I was, right? And like, I remember feeling embarrassed about it as well. And I actually got bullied a little bit about it in school, you know? I don't know if you're comfortable, like, sharing. We come from a very religious background, her and I, you know? And so there was that aspect, especially in youth, where, like, you know, I was called, like, the holy girl or the prude girl or whatever, you know? And I can only imagine what that might feel like prolonged into adulthood, you know? And, like, the buildup of tension and, like, just the unknown of those experiences, because they are huge, right? I almost feel like it's probably better to experience them, to be honest, as an adult, because when you're a teenager, it's like
You do get the bonus of having your prefrontal cortex fully developed. I will give you that, but you
Yeah,
also get all the overthinking that comes with that too. So there's pros and cons.
I mean, I had that too, so I
You
feel
know
like
what I mean? Like, there's pros and cons, but for sure, like, I remember feeling like that as a teenager, just being like, "Oh, I have time. It's weird, but I have time."
yeah,
And then, you know, all of a very large family, all of my, and I'm the oldest, all of my younger siblings, nobody had this same issue. Nobody. So then I'm like, well, how do I fix this? I don't know what to do.
I mean, really, all your sisters were like married and popping out babies.
Literally having children before I had a first date. Like, it was the most bizarre life experience, like, to go through. And I feel like was one of the reasons why I wrote this book was it's actually a very common one. It's a very normalized one, but we only see representations of, like, chronic singleness in, like, pop culture, in, like, the cat lady representation or the spinster, you know what I mean? The virgin jokes. I feel like men deal with that more than women, but you, on the opposite side, right? Like, you're a prude, or your standards are too high, or you're too picky, or all the million things you hear. Like, it's bizarre. So I just wanted to be like, I feel like that's the point of my book, the point of my social platform, was just to normalize that. Like, you can feel this at 15, at 17, at 40, at 50, and there's just not like there is a societal expectation for sure, but it's ridiculous. Like, it's just made of rules. Like, nobody's life has the same story, so why do we expect us all to hit the same milestones at the same time? So I feel like that's,
I would almost argue that
soapbox.
probably a lot of people are hitting those milestones at a time that is forced because of that.
It's true. Like, I remember one of the first times I was being interviewed about this, and I just so happened to have like a doctor's appointment with my primary doctor, and I was talking to her about it. So I was a little stressed out. Like, I was all of a sudden very publicly talking about very personal things.
Yeah, like,
now it's whatever. My filter's broken. What do you want to talk about? Let's talk. At the time,
Literally
it was
an open book.
I could not care less now. I have to remember not everyone's as comfortable as I am, but and I remember her telling me how prevalent it is in her medical practice to see teens, especially young women, pressured into especially sexual situations at very young ages before they feel ready, but they just feel like if they don't, then they're the ones that are at fault for that choice. And she was like, you have such an opportunity to let people know. And at the time I was just like, I'm just trying not to have a nervous breakdown, but like, cool, like more pressure. Love that. Thank you.
You're like, wait, now I need to shape the
Like,
entire generation.
I'm saying now I do see that. Like I have such a broad audience range, but when someone who's like 13 or 14 messages me, it breaks my heart a little bit, but they'll be like, thank you for talking about this, like that I can take my time. Or someone who's like in their 60s being like, where were you when I was dating? I was like, I mean, probably still in heaven, but you know, I'm better late than never.
Late bloomer, right? Guilty.
On brand. It's on brand. But yeah, so it's a wild turn of events.
When was it released?
It just came out last fall in August. Well, that was end of the summer. Last summer.
Like 2025?
Yes.
Or okay.
2025.
So it's super well received. People are psyched, loving it.
Yeah, it's been I very rarely like check out like what my reviews are because I don't like to do that to myself, but it cracked me up. There was one that was like medium. And they were like, this book can't decide if it's a diary or a self-help book. And I'm like, I like that you can't figure that out from this.
I feel like that's a good thing.
I was like, I know you gave me a mediocre review and I respect it, but also I kind of like that.
I like your feedback, so I'm going to take that as
like
a
it.
I like it. That was kind of what I was going for. I wanted it to be both.
Like, so it's exactly what I was going for. Cool. Thank you for that.
Well, what did you think? Like, so obviously this all started by you sharing on social and then like going through your process and then you being you and also just being a writer. And what did you find to be the biggest shakeup of your life? Was it learning to share and be so open and raw, or was it to finally write and publish? Well, you said you've been in literary magazines, but like your first published book, I mean, it's huge.
It was. I mean, it felt like the culmination of like so many dreams. And again, wish I had a more chill hobby. Like, it's what you do in your downtime, right? When you're really passionate about something. I feel like the being able to like let something go that had, I didn't think it was holding me back, but I went on a writing retreat with one of my favorite authors, which was an amazing experience.
I want to know
And
more
at
about
the
that.
end of the retreat, they spent like she like looked around the room and she had like, you know, spent like a lot of one-on-one time with us. And she had like a message, like an individualized message with us. And she had told me, like, Allora, like, I feel like something's holding you back. And when you figure it out, like, your potential will be limitless. And I was like, well, hell, how do I figure it out? And this was the only thing I could think of that I could not verbalize. And I just, like, I respond to things. Like, I feel like I am a very auditory learner. That was before I wrote it. Before I even started talking about it. It was the year before
you started sharing. So before
Yes.
this all, okay.
Like, it was like the catalyst. Like, I went on that retreat in July of 2022. And then by December of 2022 is when I started talking about being a late bloomer online. And I started going on dates that in January 2023. So it was like a catalyst. So like literally when you've spent so much time like feeling like super shitty about something in your life, and then one day you just decide like be gone. Like, and that process
this out right now, yeah.
It was so like freeing, and also knowing like I still love telling stories, all kinds of stories, but it was the first kind of story I felt like I'd ever told that actually helped people. Like I get thousands of messages from people being like, no one's ever vocalized this. I didn't know how to explain it. I didn't know why I felt so isolated or lonely or what have you. And a lot of people don't even feel comfortable commenting on my videos because it's so embarrassing and they're afraid someone will recognize their comment. So like to have that level of shame around a topic, and then to have a book that specifically addresses like those pain points, those very common struggles in a lot of people's stories. And there are elements like people coming out later in life as queer and starting to date a different gender. This is a familiar experience. Someone dating post-divorce or post the death of a spouse. Like it's a whole different ball game. And there's elements of like feeling newness or feeling like you're behind in this game, like that resonated with people. And that was just so powerful to me because I feel like most of the stories I'd always written were definitely important to me, and like, you know, we write for fun, but this was something that actually felt like I was helping people, which I never set out to do. Accidental spokesperson. But it was like, man, once you find it, it was like an opportunity I could not pass up.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that, like how that applies to.
It's like
I
a
mean,
lot of people,
we
you
both
know.
have experienced different variations of those things as well, and there is like a stigma to talking about. It's so weird because we're in a like if it's seemingly open to sexuality culture, right? Seemingly, I say, because you got the people that get it and the people that don't, and sexy clothes and sex in movies and TV is permissible, but then like to really talk about sex in a real way, and not just sex, but intimacy and as a whole. Very like, no, we're not going to do that. We just want to look at boobs. You know what I mean?
If
you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't know. I can't really.
No, 100%. Like, literally, if you fit the mold of sexuality, right? So if you're pretty, straight, I'd argue white, thin, then your sexuality is applauded. If you are hitting those targets at the right ages, amazing. Right. But if you don't fit that very specific mold, there is conflict, or there has been conflict. I feel like the tide is shifting. Like, there's so many, like, celebrities even coming out and being like, oh yeah, I didn't have, like, I remember I was asked by so many people, did you hear about Rebel Wilson's new memoir? She didn't start having sex until her 30s. And that was the headline. Like, Rebel Wilson has had an amazing career as an actress, is a super interesting person, but the headline about her book when it came out was that. Like, that was the talking point. And I was like, man, I mean, I get it. It's surprising. But this is also the point. It's just people feel like they cannot talk about it unless you fit this very specific mold. And I'm like, man, like, that's a lot of what I talk about online too, is like what started off as dating recaps is let's just talk about what. I'm not an expert. I'm not a sex therapist. I'm no expert, but let me talk to you about things that I learned about real recently. Like, this de-sting is not supposed to be titillating. It's not supposed to be sensationalized. It's just like, here's some educational content. Let's talk about like the messiness, the nervousness, like the organic way that relationships unfold. And it applies to so many people, but we're just not talking about it in a frank way.
I have a question that's like, and we can cut it if this is too personal, but like, so
Please, I love TMI.
Right now, sometimes, like, I one of the posts I just posted within the past 2 weeks, I wrote, Mom, don't watch this clip because of my upbringing. And I don't know what your parents, but like, I remember like a lot of leave room for the Holy Spirit's going on when we were younger. And like, so I find myself still as a grown woman with 2 children, has been married, widowed, in intimate relationships. I'm scared to even say that right now. Like, obviously, like, I'm still struggling. I have a podcast that's primary focus is reading romantic fantasy books. Very smart.
Yep.
Literature. And yet I still feel like this hesitation to water it down and be careful what I'm saying. And so, again, this is me projecting. We have not spent any real time together since we were children. I think we'll talk about that, but the last time I saw you. And so I wonder if you struggled with that at all, or has this been, like, what has that, and we don't need to share that. I just genuinely want to know.
Oh, no, I actually talk about this in my book too. It was a huge source of conflict between my parents and I. Because I might as well have made an OnlyFans when I started talking about sex.
That's what I was expecting.
100%. It was a huge source of conflict. And for them, like, they came from a generation where a lot of these things were talked behind closed doors. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it didn't help me. So, like, I remember, like, getting, like, a little blue book that talked about sex when I was, like, 12 or 11. I don't know at what point. I was young. And that was the talk. That was it. Here's the book. Here's some diagrams. The book goes on. And that was, if you have questions.
Everything you need to know.
Like, I remember my mom being like, if you have questions, come talk to me. I'm gonna what? I'm gonna just stroll up to you and ask about peen and bean and like, yeah, we're gonna go on from there. No. So it was just not a conversation. So enter me talking about all kinds of things on the internet. And again, I was telling stories, providing educational content, and that blow up for that was wild. Like, just wild. And for my parents, they were like, you are, you know, hobbling your future prospects. People are going to Google you and you're not going to be hireable. Like, it was mostly from that angle of like, you being so open about this is going to cripple your career. It has not, but like, that's not spoiler. But at the time, like, that was something we fought initially a lot about. It took a lot of conversations and understanding on both of our parts for me to understand that they were just coming from a place of worry. They weren't worried about me being like labeled a slut. It was really like, are you sure you want to share this much on the internet? It lasts forever. It doesn't go away. And me being like, I don't know how to tell you this, but this literally feels like a ministry to me. Like, that was the way I phrased it to my mother. Like, this literally feels like a way that I can help people in a way that I never have in my life. And once she started to understand that I wasn't just about like selling sex in a way, which nothing wrong with it, honestly, respect it, but just like, I mean, that's what romance literature is, right? We love it. We eat it up. We love that aspect of it. There's a time and place for it. But that just wasn't what my mission was. And she explained to me, she was like, Laura, you gotta admit, nobody expected you to be talking about sex on the internet.
Dude, again, haven't seen you since I'm a child, but like, we spent a lot of time together as children. And my mom was like, did you see what Alora's doing? And I'm not in a bad way, in a very supportive way.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
And I was like, wait, Allora, what? What do you mean? And I was like, wait, click, 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 like, let me see what's going on. I'm like, she's talking about this. I did, you know, that trending, you did what? With who? With him? I was like, oh shit.
No, it was true. And like, literally, I mean, at this point, by the time I'm posting content, right, I'm 32, 33.
Grown woman.
And my parents were getting phone calls from family members, from their friends being like, do you see what your daughter is doing? So at first they weren't really worried. And then they were like, are you bringing dishonor upon us? Like, what's going on? And we did. And I wrote about it because I feel like when you tell people you come from a big family, especially, like, and I had a wonderful childhood. I love my parents, but that doesn't mean you don't argue with the people that you love and you don't work through conflict. So that was another thing that was hard, was writing about something like personal, like a fight like that. But to me, it was so important because it wasn't that my parents were a villain. We had to come from two different ends of a spectrum, but that relationship meant a lot to me with them. What I was saying meant a lot, and us being able to communicate and resolve was so important to me to convey. Like, that was a part of this journey that I was on, like, really advocating for something you believe in, even when people who adore you don't see the vision initially.
Right, and don't really understand, maybe. You know, I don't think, even what you're doing is way more raw and honest, but, like, my mom asked me to remove that post I'm referring, you know? So I don't want to...
You did?
Yeah. Not in like an intense way, but she's like, kind of similar, like, maybe that one should come down.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I was like, I wrote, Mom, don't watch the clip.
I did one video one time where I said, Dad, this video isn't for you. And that was a whole thing. They were like, you brought your father into this video? I was like, no, I was literally saying,
so
I'm making content and he is not the target audience. He is welcome to watch if he wants to. I'm not ashamed of what I'm doing, but I was not thinking of him making what I'm making. Like,
yeah.
no dishonor, no drama, no besmirching. It was a journey. Oh man, good times.
So well, it's really cool. Even if I didn't grow up, I feel, knowing you, I think it's super specific. And again, like you said, like, there's not really a space that I'm aware of for people to have those discussions and relate to that, or someone that's been, again, to my knowledge, so open and honest about that. It's really cool.
It is like a very new, I won't like take credit for starting this trend, but I will say it was very new when I started. There was like one or two creators out there that I heard, and that was the first time I'd ever heard someone talking so
really
about it.
Okay.
Yeah, in very small ways. And now I see creators talking about it in a much bigger way. It's becoming much more mainstream now. They're trying to like cast reality shows for like virgins dating for the first time. People reach out to me all the time to try and cast these shows. They're like, who do you know that'll be on this? And I'm like, I gotta tell you, I don't know who's gonna want to be on your show. Not because it sounds terrible, but because people are really embarrassed. So being on TV, like, it's two different things. Like,
Yeah.
but like, it's just a conversation that is now reaching like people in a whole new way. And I love that it is, like, again, a part of destigmatizing it is just making it feel less like it's this crazy circumstance.
Yeah.
And that it is like a normal, like, you just come to things in your own time. You're not behind if it takes longer. So.
And that bleeds over into other parts of life as well.
Mm-hmm. Like, how depressing is it that you have to have everything figured out by 25, but you still live however many years after that? What? That's the message we believe? Like, no.
Yeah, even being in your mid 30s to, like, you know, that 30, you know, 35 for some reason to me was a big deal, because I was like, once I turn 36, I'm closer to 50 than I am to 20, which is such a toxic thing to think.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't get it out of my head. And so, and the mentality of a lot of, not all, but a lot of people our age that, like, this is life now, it's over, it's on the downturn. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 we're just getting started.
I'm saying, things got so much more interesting in my life in every way possible in my 30s. Like, and like, romance was just one part of that. So I feel like it's also like there's so much to look forward to about aging. Like, you are different, you've learned more, and I think that is a beautiful part of growing up. We're all doing this for the first time, right? Like, It's a beautiful part of it.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna be 40 next week, right? Nice. So I feel what you guys are saying, like, in a way, like, coming out of a marriage and, like, exploring things for, like, this is the first time to be on the other side of a marriage, like, having certain labels attached and, like, stigmas, like, oh, this must be a midlife crisis, and, you know, like, there's always just the fear of being seen and misunderstood, where it's like, what do you mean? Like, no, like, this is just what happened in my life. It doesn't define me. It doesn't label me. And, like, now, like, let's see where the rest of my journey takes me. It's open. It's like the first time, like you just said, you know, like, it's nice to have people be real, make it okay. Not that you're making it okay, but you're allowing other people to know it's okay.
Like, you don't know what you don't know. So, like, you kind of have to go through life, and I feel like the opportunity to be the most authentic and honest version of yourself can happen at any time. You can reinvent the wheel at any time. And the judgments, and there's so much judgment, like, no matter what you do.
No matter what. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just, we're really good at judging.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Really, human beings, man, they just...
Yeah.
I can really, really, really relate to that. I get very, very defensive of widows and widowers, because based on my own experience, I'm hyper aware of that. And I debatably would say, in a very vocal, outspoken, culturally acceptable way, people feel emboldened to verbalize their opinions on widowers and widows profusely about they should start dating yet. They shouldn't have dated yet. They should date, but they shouldn't date that person. Why aren't they dating? Why aren't they living? Oh, they weren't sad long enough. It's no matter what, they lose. Either they're doing it too fast or they're doing it too slow. They're not sad enough or they're too sad. I mean, I'm sure it goes everywhere. I'm just hyper aware of it because of my own experience. But I have like a visceral reaction, and I get so defensive because I'm like, they can do whatever they
Yeah. Thank you for talking
Everybody's
about
story
that.
is different. Who is making up these rules? They're not serving anybody.
Yeah, like, what rules? Like, what rules are you following? The one being the judger. Like, what rules are you following? Let's talk about this. Like, why are you right and I'm wrong? But Katie, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I feel like that's something that I don't know anything about, right? It's not on my radar because I haven't experienced that. Like, so I don't even hear it, even if it is being talked about. So, yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah. People, stop doing it.
Stop judging. No.
Wait, everyone do it. Same time. Ready? Do it. Wait, hold on. I had a double chin. Do it again. Do it again.
Make it a ninja.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so what's next for you in that genre of memoirs? Are you going to write a follow-up book? Are we going to follow you through your next phases of excitement in life that you have going on, or are you going to let that just sit where it stands?
I feel like I never know. Like I wrote nonfiction exclusively, like when I was in school in my 20s, because a lot of creative writing programs, especially in grad school, that's what they require. Like you have to write nonfiction to learn your craft. So like I feel like that's what I wrote the most, but it's not what like spoke to me the most. So I've loved writing this book, and if there's a subsequent book, like my fiance now is always like, oh, the next one is I'm in the sequel and I won. Like, the next one can be who is he?
Yeah, we might, maybe you'll be in the fantasy book, all right?
I'm like, yeah. So, who knows? I always feel like there's room for more, like, especially, like, there's a book in me for sure about, like, embracing sexuality and, like, changing stigmas and all that. There's definitely something in there. But right now I am pivoting back to fiction. I for sure want to have protagonists, which has been a passion of mine for a while now, but protagonists, like especially female adults, 35 up, experiencing love for the first time or adventure. Like, why do the youths only get to have fun? Like, I want to see more of that in what I write, in what I read, and that's definitely like already starting new projects.
People are begging for it. They're begging for it.
What I'm saying.
First of all, the average listeners of our podcast and the readers of these of romantic fantasy is like 35 to 45.
Mm-hmm.
So love that these girls are all spry and young. I mean, I did see one funny thing that was like, I sent it to Steph. It was like, the only reason why the men are 300 years old and the girls are 19 in these books is because that's about the time that a man reaches the maturity of a 19-year-old female.
Mm-hmm. Facts. They know how to cook.
Sorry, it would be nice to have that as like the female main character age group, because they all are 19 and like can fight and win wars and all of that. So like to have that relatable, a little bit older, you know.
100%. Like, I know I'm cooking up my first rom-com, my first romance novel. We'll see where that goes. I also have a book about dragons that I've been working on forever.
Love it.
And that's an older protagonist too, and I will never stop. So
well, because it's like, why can't, you know, and then like, you know, I get it. Youth is beautiful. They always say youth is wasted on the young, right? Or whatever they say. Mm-hmm. But again, I'm very involved in these books, and I'm like, I think the 300-year-old man is mature enough to respect a full-grown adult woman. You know what I mean?
And I do love that adult literature is getting more, like, I feel like it's getting more fun. Like, we're branching out into, like I've loved the surge of, like, cozy fantasy, and, like, we're just exploring what, like, those adventures can look like. Like, yes, they can be, like, these big, epic battles with, like, huge stakes, but I love that they can be smaller and less stressful. Like, I just love the scale, and just seeing, like, you know, yourself represented in literature a little bit more, especially age-wise, is something I'm always looking for. So I still feel like it's an underserved market, and I'm happy to slide in to fill that need.
Keep them coming. Bring it on.
Yeah, that's like, you kind of already answered it, but yeah, I was curious to see, is she going to write fiction? Because, so to now give context. So again, we grew up together. Our parents were friends. She was homeschooled, so we didn't go to school together, but I went over to her house all the time. My mom was the kind of mom that would just be like, you guys home? And we would just like come over. And it's so funny because when I was telling Steph just briefly about, hey, I have this friend, she's an author, I grew up with her, I want to interview her. She was like, yeah, dope. Like, that's no more questions asked. Like, that's our friendship. And I was like, it's so funny because the last time I saw her, her dad was yelling at me, not in a bad way, Mr. Campbell, to get out of a tree. because I'm
Yep.
and then you emailed us and you said that exactly. And I was like, this is hilarious because I can't, well, of course you remember it. So I climb up on this tree at her house and we're playing like wholesome kids, right? We're playing, we're probably doing some crazy in-depth imagination saga because we both love stories. So, you know, telling all our little brothers and sisters that they're this person and this is what you feel and this is where you go and we're this person and you need to do this. And we climb up in the tree and I'm fine. And then he's like, it's time to get down. You have to climb back down the ladder. And I'm like, I can't do it.
Facts. I mean, to be fair to you, you had a little bit of self-preservation because the way we got out of that huge, it was a very big tree for the record, wasn't, you know, no little bit.
Big tree. Like,
It was a huge tree. We would jump out of it onto a trampoline. Like that's
oh,
what
that's what you did. They're like,
so that was how we got out of it. And Katie's up there and she's like, no.
No way.
So my dad had to come rescue her. But this was after we'd been hyping her up. Like, just jump. Just jump. It's fine. You probably won't break anything. We haven't. Like, it's going to be fine. And it was a drop. Okay.
No, it was a tree. Like, we're not exaggerating. Like,
it was tall. It was like a 10-foot drop, maybe more. Like, it was
grown man and come and get me. And I was like, I'm scared of ladders. And he's like basically as an adult, you know, he's thinking, why'd you go up here then? Like,
yeah.
But he wasn't mean, but he had to be like, you know, but as an adult, I'm thinking like, how annoying. Like you have a kid go over to your house, they climb up a tree and then they will refuse to get out. Like what a turd.
I don't think that's that uncommon. If it's like the first time or something, I feel like that happens all the time.
Just saying, your self-preservation was fantastic. That's all I'm saying. It's amazing none of us broke a bone because we would like jump down big
for
bounds.
Jumping out of a tree onto a trampoline. I don't
know why we were not stopped sooner than that.
Was it over after that day?
It might have. I definitely don't remember really jumping down after that point.
I ruined it.
But we would still climb it. We just like, I know eventually we had like a rope ladder that we put up there to make it a little easier, less dangerous. Because I think at that point my mom was like, is this what you guys have been doing? Like, you know?
You're like, yeah, totally. We were doing flips out of the tree. It's parkour.
So, I mean, in retrospect, I feel like you were probably right.
Yes, I don't know. I also feel like, I don't know if this is like, you just reinforced well, no, why would you reinforce it? I feel like you showed me, I want to say, maybe it was a composition book, but maybe not. But it was definitely not a spiral notebook that you had in your room with a story in it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I don't know how old, we were young. We had to have been like, what?
I don't think we were teenagers yet. Yeah, so
yeah, 11. Still. And I'm like, she wrote a book. I'm like, yo, she's so smart.
Yeah, when I first started, I would do it in the back of my school books, like my notebooks for school, like my sketchbooks. So I'd hide them. Like, you wouldn't flip to the back if you saw there was math in the front. Like,
I still do that. I do that. I write like my password in the back.
Like just in case I fooled anybody, and I would like hide them in the mattress up in that stupid tree. Like, but yeah, it was. I mean, it was fun, especially then. Like I always think about that. Like especially before I got into like college, really, like when writing was just purely for fun and it's not really attached to a dream. Like you're just doing it because you enjoy it. Like, there is such merit in that. It's different when you're older. Not that there isn't still the passion and the joy of, like, your craft. But, like, you're trying to make something good, not just something for yourself. Yeah. So it's different. But, like, it was so much fun at the time.
You've been writing your whole life.
I have all of my notebooks. All of them. I have a stack of, like, 30 of them.
That's amazing.
They're on a shelf. I kept them all.
The shrine.
Yep. I will never part with them. Other books, like, come and go, but those notebooks, man, I was committed. Like,
do you look through them? Do you read them?
I do once in a while just to see, like, it, like, takes you back, like, especially if you're struggling, like, now, like, with, like, deadlines and, like, drafts and revisions, and, like, there's a lot, like, there's process involved, so, like, sometimes I like to remember. Like, when I was really stressed out about it recently, like doing edits, my fiance was like, remember that this is like your live stream. Like,
Yeah.
you should enjoy it a little bit. I'm like, you're
Oh,
right.
just a smidge.
You're right. I do. It's
Do
just
it
when
properly.
you edit, some of it get to you. So I feel like sometimes I'll just go back, and I do keep every notebook. I do handwrite everything. I can't seem to type straight to a blank screen. So I still have notebooks. I keep them all, like, just full of every draft I've ever done.
Like your future books too, like
Mm-hmm.
your plans, they're handwritten.
They are all handwritten. It is killing my hands. But yeah, no, I've started to pay attention now too to like getting prettier like covers so that when you see them on the shelf, they're not just like marble composition notebooks. Like I have like prettier spines for all of them, which has been very fun. But yeah, everything. It's not the best like for process. Like everything takes twice as long because you're handwriting and then you're typing it, right? But in my mind, I'm like, that's a first draft and a second draft. So at least,
Okay.
you know, you go as you go.
Oh,
Whatever. If that's how you work, you know. I mean,
I just wish, especially like when your hand is dying. I got like a hand massager for Christmas and I was like, this was the best gift. Like,
handwriting. I can hardly write by hand anymore. I actually like had beautiful penmanship. Okay, I had an A in school.
penmanship.
Penmanship. But it is gone. I write like I always think about like those forensic scientists that are like you could tell who it is by how they write. I'm like, not me. Some days I
I
write
think
like
you have great handwriting.
oh, I can when I try, but most of the time it looks like a drunk sailor.
mine's rough. Sometimes I even struggle if I'm writing fast because it's like a blend of cursive and print. So like if I'm trying to just get something out and afterwards I'm trying to type it, I'm like, what the hell? Which are you even on about? Like, what is this word?
That was my question is like, can you read what you write? Like what
It
happened?
takes some time. Like, it does definitely. And I'm always experimenting with, do I want like a bit, like, because I'm surrounded by notebooks. So, like, right now I'm in the mood for a giant one. So I write bigger and can read better. But most of the time I do like a regular A4 kind of size. But, like, my whole shelf is just full of notebooks. I'm always collecting them. Like, oh my God, I could spend so much money just on notebooks. I get so
How many
excited.
empty notebooks do you have?
Right now, probably at least 10. Like, they're just ready to go. And I'm very particular. Like, they need to feel a certain way. Like, the cover. If you're going to spend time, they need to feel good. The older I get, the more I realize I'm a little neurospicy. So, like, texture definitely matters a lot to me.
Spicy.
Little
Yes.
neurospicy. Like things matter to me now that never used to. Like
I can
sound,
that.
light, clothing. Like God forbid I wear anything that compresses me in any way. Like any garment I wear now cannot squeeze.
My
Like, it
clothes are
needs
touching
to-
me.
I just need to exist without thinking that I'm wearing clothing. Like, and for writing, same thing. I'm so particular about pens, like the ink as it comes out. Like, it's wild.
It's so funny. So I don't have to ask the question about what your process is because there it is.
It
the
is.
right
It's
pen,
so.
the right outfit, the right notebook.
I'm really I'm in my jumpsuit era right now. That is my favorite. And then I don't know what you call sweatshirts with puns on them or just funny things to say. That is also my fashion aesthetic exclusively. I just like a
Crop
good
top, right? Like
crew neck with something cute on it.
I love it.
That's the aesthetic. I don't know what to call
I
it.
require snacks. Is that
Yeah,
what it says?
actual.
Oh, it's good. It's, with your grown-up girl money, man, the possibilities are endless. Another benefit of growing up, dude. Like,
Buy whatever shirt you want.
I'm saying.
So so you're writing exclusively now. That is your full-time job.
I wish. No, by day, I do marketing for a biotech company. And then writing is in my spare time. And I will say, I don't know how comfortable I would be actually making a creative pursuit a full-time job, because I feel like it's when you attach a dollar figure, when you have to, like for your job, that kind of stress, I don't know that I would do well with. Like, I've owned my own business before. I had like a clothing boutique for several years, and that was a lot, very creative, like having to like market, you know, and push things out through social media. And after that experience, I was like, man, even if I had that like that big advance, like that big, I don't know that I would quit my day job, because that's just like it's very stress free, doesn't require a big chunk of my brain. So juggling it is interesting, but again, I don't have kids, so right now it's doable.
Right now it's possible.
Right now it's fine.
Steph, I know you wanted to ask her earlier about, and I want to know, so why don't you ask what you were going to ask about the retreat and her favorite author? And
I just wanted to know more about what is that? Like, how do you, like, what's the retreat you went on? You hadn't written your book yet that you published. So, yeah, what is that? What was that like? Just, I have no idea now. What like, that was so long ago, even
No,
thinking
it's
about
okay.
that.
I would still love to talk about this. So my experience,
Yeah.
especially writing, like writing is such an isolated experience, but like when I was a teenager, right, I was really big into fan fiction. So like you had this community, like fanfiction.net was my jam, okay? Tumblr, all those things. Like I was in it to win it. You had people you were writing to and for, right? And then I went right into college, also for creative writing. And you're in workshops constantly for like the whole 6 years I was in college. It was just a string of literature and like creative writing workshops. So you had this community. And then in my 20s, I didn't have that. Like I had no writing friends. Most of the people I went to school with weren't necessarily pursuing writing in the same way, right? Like you have to work, like you need to have a job. So like a lot of times, so I found like as I approached 30, like I missed having people to talk about and like do things with. And I didn't realize that like writing retreats were like a thing, like so many authors do them. And I just coincidentally, my favorite author, Maggie Stiefvater, she wrote, my favorite book of hers is The Scorpio Races, but she has written so many things. But she was hosting a writing retreat with two of her other author friends and in a castle in Scotland for a week. And I was like, credit card, ka-ching, no money for that, but I will happily pay it off. Like, and it was basically me. I went with one of my sisters who's also a writer, and with like 30 other people in this like in the middle of nowhere in the Scottish Highlands. And every day there was time, like we would do writing sprints, writing exercises. They met with us one-on-one to coach. And then all of a sudden you're making all these friends and like talking about your projects. And then Maggie and the other authors paired us up based on like what genres we were writing to be like critique partners. So then we're bouncing ideas off of each other. And at the end of the week, like I said, it was like also therapy. Like, there was like moments like she had us like write a secret on a piece of paper, throw it in the fire, or like share what we wanted to, like stuff like that, like just very personal. Like
Sounds like a dream.
It was amazing. They had a chef every day, like come in, like make us food. So like we never left the castle. Like we were there the whole time in the middle of nowhere. You'd go for walks, and it was my sister at the time had two young, like two under two, and it was hard for her to leave her kids, especially like the younger one. But it was like she just never had that like one-on-one time like with writing either. And now all of a sudden we had this whole community of people. We still cheer each other on, like all those people that I met, like connected with on social media. So now we have like this whole like friend group, and Maggie went on to lead retreats for many years. I think she just stopped this year. She put a pause on it because she's writing a new book now. But just that collaborative environment, like I just hadn't, it was the first time I'd ever like been in a creative environment like that, where you're not writing for like a grade, right? Like I was in school, like it wasn't for an assignment. Like we were given like prompts or like write for this long or all that kind of stuff. But like just having someone who was in publishing could answer questions about her publishing experience, give advice, and then the mentorship aspect of it was fantastic. And it was humbling too. Like in my session, I brought the book I was working on at the time, and she read like the first 2 chapters, and she was like telling me how I could improve them. And then she was like, so how do you feel about like me sharing this with like the group of what not to do? And I was like, no. Girl, do it. As long as I can like have a redemption arc and give you like a revision now that I know what I'm doing wrong. So it was like she sent out the like, this is what Allora don't do this.
Oh no.
And here's how she revised it. And she like, when I like brought her the revision, she was like, I knew you were capable of this. I was like, girl, that feeling of like someone you really admire looking at your writing and being like, well, this is good. You fixed it. Like you did this. And I was like, oh. Like that, if I could jar that feeling for every hard writing day, like it was incredible. But yeah, I've seen so many retreats from all different, I know the small press I publish through hosts some in Colorado every year. Like there's so many all over the place, and just the friends I've made since then, like when you know, like you're all in this together, like and you start to like share your struggles, or like different friends have like helped me like read through drafts, or we help each other get our querying materials ready for agents, and just all that, like it's like everybody is reaching back and helping each other up kind of environment. And I didn't know that existed outside of like an academic environment, honestly, and it was way more than anything in school, to be honest. Like so it was just such a amazing experience. And also like doing it in another country too, so everyone's in someplace new outside your comfort zone. I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Castle in Scotland, okay,
it was fantastic. And like, just showing up for tea time and like having fresh scones and tea ready to go, like it was just
a dream.
I'm saying like the best. And she's done like more retreats in Scotland. She did one in Iceland, I think, one year. And every year in this economy that I couldn't go, I felt sad. But
yeah.
But I know there's some that exist in the States too. I just haven't reached out as much since that one experience. But I feel like throughout my life, I would love to continuously meet up with those friends and also make new ones. I think that's the best part about when you find a community, you're reading books, right? Like I'm sure you guys have met people through like your podcast. Like it's when you connect in that way, like it makes your world bigger. And I have loved that. For something that can be like reading, writing, they're very isolated experiences, and be able to share that with people is so like thrilling.
And to be able to feel so immediately connected with someone that's a complete stranger is a very unique experience to this that I've never experienced. Like, I don't know, like just welcome arms, people's faces light up when you start talking about something they also love. It's such a cool, unique experience. It brings me so much joy.
I love that. I will always love that about the literary world. Like, I'm sorry. I know other communities exist for other hobbies, but I'm like, yours aren't as good as ours.
No, I don't think so.
We're the best.
You can sit with us, though.
I'm saying.
Well, it was so nice. Thank you so much for chatting with us. And I think we're both very interested, and we're going to read your book. And if you write anything else, fantasy or otherwise, we want to know about it. And
absolutely.
And maybe we could read a book together one day. You could come on and we could just talk about something.
Hell yeah. I'd be delighted. I've caught a few episodes of your podcast, and I love it's been so lovely chatting with you both, but like I love your platform, and absolutely. This will be another, this sounds so mysterious. I can't like talk contractually about like the next thing in detail yet. Sounds like it's like the FBI or something. When I'm allowed to,
if I tell you, I'm gonna have to kill you.
Is it gonna be this year's cool or next year's cool?
I think this year's cool, but it's still like
maybe next year's cool.
Maybe next year, but yeah. Like it sounds so ambiguous, but vague news, right? Is what they say in publishing all the time. Vague news. Like,
okay,
we're ready
all
for
right.
it.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time.
Well, thank you so much. I love your energy. I love that you're willing to empower people and you keep it going because you see the benefit to it. Like, thank you so much for your evening and your time and sharing your story.
Absolutely, ladies. Again, thank you for having me. Love to chat anytime, but absolutely honored.
Right.